Hey guys, Alexander here. This is a video about self-harm. If you're in that mindset where you feel like cutting or really doing anything self-destructive and you just really need to step back for a few minutes, distract yourself for a little while until those thoughts can pass. I hope you guys find this video helpful. So one of the things you guys could do is make a list of things that need to get done, not necessarily in that second. You have homework that needs to get done, or if you need to clean your room or your house or your apartment, or if you need to get your car fixed, things that need to get taken care of. Just take a few moments to just step out and just make this little to-do list, a little reminder list. Another sort of list, just stuff you just kind of want to do. If you have a book that's been lying around and you just haven't had time, you really want to see a movie, or you really want to make time to call someone, or go hang out with friends, or go out to this certain restaurant, or things like that. Just stuff you want to do. Something I've found really helpful, thanks to Jen, is kind of just letting out your inner child. Grabbing a coloring book. A few days ago, I actually picked this book up from Barnes & Noble. It has all these like pages of stuff to do, and some of them have like little prompts in them. Like, hey, here's the start of the picture, now finish it. If you like to read, just grab a book and sit down for like 15, 20, 30 minutes, however long, and just, immerse yourself in the book. If you have any hobbies that you really love to do, just sit down and do it for a while. If there's something you've always wanted to do, look into how to do it, or tutorials, or, just explore that new hobby and how you can get into it. Something that has recently been extremely helpful for me is journaling. I've just been expressing those, depressed, triggering thoughts and letting it out in a book. Crafting is an awesome thing to do. There are tons of sites on like different crafts you can do, and you can find all sorts of like really interesting and like crazy projects to even do. Along with that note, just find a project, whether it is, something small that you can do just for that time. You have this big brewing idea and it might take a couple days, like plan it out. Immerse yourself in the ideas and how to do it, and then eventually doing it. Just sit down for a while with your iPod or a CD player, whatever you've got. Just listen to some music. Get a piece of paper and list everything that is going on in your head. Start vlogging and just let it out on YouTube if you want. Let it out on a blog. Surf the internet. I mean, there are endless things you can do online. Watch self-help vlogs. There are so many vloggers and people on YouTube who talk about the same things I bet that you're going through, and it'll help you remind you that you're not alone, and it does pass. And hearing another person talk about the stuff that might be going on in your head as well, even if it's through a computer screen, can be such a reassurance that, hey, I'm not the only one struggling with this. Go for a walk. Just take yourself out of whatever situation is triggering. I understand if everything that's triggering is in your own head, but if there are things going on around you, like if people around you are triggering you, or if there's just stuff around you triggering you, take yourself out of the situation, whether you have to sit yourself in another room for a little bit, or go for a walk for 10, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Just take yourself out for a little bit. Talk with a friend or a family member, whoever you trust. Whether you really need to talk about what is triggering you, what is stressing you, what is causing these feelings, or even just a basic conversation about how each other's days have gone, how school is going, how work is going, distracting via conversation. If you don't feel you have anyone to talk to, there are helplines. If you are tempted to cut, there is the butterfly project. You draw a butterfly on the place where you want to cut, and it's supposed to be if you cut, you kill the butterfly. You can Google more about it. I've also heard something, I don't know if it's a real project or it just worked for someone else, but getting a doll, and instead of hurting yourself, hurting the doll. Most importantly, Don't ignore your feelings. It's okay to acknowledge them because they are real. They are there. And if you just ignore them and you just try to suppress them and be like, oh, this isn't happening, it's not here, it's not happening, whatever, and just push it down, then, and you keep doing that, it's going to eventually just erupt. So acknowledge them, either sit with them for a moment and then move on. Move on to a distraction, move on to another activity. Just acknowledge it. That doesn't mean you have to act upon those feelings. I hope this list has helped you guys. It's stuff that, has either worked for me, friends have told me about and that's worked for them, or just some general stuff out there, projects like the Butterfly Project. This doll thing was something I'd heard on the web. But also, just finding what works for you. Find something to take yourself out of that moment. Acknowledge what's going on and then try to take yourself out for however long, and hopefully it will, those feelings, because when they do come up, it's generally pretty intense at first, but it will simmer down, it will, and things do get better. Hope this helps. I will talk to you guys soon.